What it do, man? It's your boy Battle Truth coming to you live and direct from the Battle Truth headquarters. Let's get right off into this. As more and more information continued to surface concerning the recent shooting that landed YFN Lucci in jail, being denied bond on a homicide and an aggravated assault, attempted homicide. This is what they saying now. As more information coming out, they actually saying YFN Lucci was actually the driver. That he was in a nearby, he went to a nearby opposition hood or block, allegedly, what's being said. Went there to actually open fire on some oppositions he was into it with. Only for the guy who he's actually being charged with the murder actually being a friend of his. Remember the 911 tape when the girl was talking about the car pulled up, and when the car pulled up, a guy was hanging out of the car and they shoved him out of the car and he was still alive while she was on the phone with the 911 operator until the man breathed his last breath and died. But when they kicked him out of the car, he was still alive, fighting to live, and died later on the scene. Well, they saying that this was YFN Lucci, one of his friends that actually was involved in the shooting. But when they pulled up on the oppositions and started opening fire on the opposition started retaliating back with return fire, striking YFM Lucci friend in the face. While at the same time, one of the opposition got hit in the abdomen. So YFM Lucci and them drive away and end up shoving their friend out of the car and left him to die. Well, the opposition guy who got shot in the stomach drove himself to a nearby fire station and they began to take care of him. He survived, but also end up telling what happened to him. So YFM Lucci is being charged also with the murder of his own friend. And more charges may come as a result of behind this. Because when you the driver, for the most part, you're responsible for anything that happened in that car as the driver. And they saying that this was one of his real cars in his name. And they saying that they've been told he was the one that was driving. But that's cold-blooded. If this is true, this cold-blooded. So you in the car, you driving. You got two of your guys with you. You want to go roll on your ops. So you drive your guys over there. Allegedly. All this is allegedly so far. But this is what they saying. You drive your guys over there. Your guys begin to open fire on the ops. The ops return fire, strike one of your guys in the face. You spin off. Your guy in the car, bleeding to death. You don't try to take him to the hospital. You kick him out the car. Like, leave him to die when allegedly he only shot because of you. You leave him to die, throw him out on the street like a dog in the presence of strangers who seen it all happening. You leave that man to die. That's crazy. But they're going to show you that if this is true, that's cold-blooded. But let this continue to be a lesson to y'all. That street stuff is dead. Stop saying, oh, this my nigga this, my nigga this, my homie this, my homie that. Listen, man, you can only speak for yourself. All that stuff sound good in the beginning. But when stuff hit the fan, you find out things for what it really is. Sad thing about it, 9 times out of 10, you the one suffering as a result of it, to come to that knowledge of understanding what it is. And betrayal come to everybody. That's why I call betrayal, because it had to be done by somebody you trusted or were close to, or you knew, somebody you showed love to. And to think that that man was willing to risk his life in whatever type of trouble it may have been, only for the one who he trusted left him to die. Sad thing about it was they were trying to kill somebody else. And the ones who they were trying to kill actually lived, and one of theirs died instead. Tragic, and it's sad. Now you're about to sit for the rest of your life in prison as a result of this. As a result of this. It's sad. It's crazy. But it's the streets. And that's another thing that makes this so sad. All this money. Why are you doing things like this and you got all this money? You could always replace valuables. You could always replace things. You can't replace life. You figure having all this money and being in a blessed situation like that, that street stuff, you will want no part of. You don't have to prove it no more. You don't have to prove it no more. You arrived. You made it. You got all the money, the sexy women, all the jewelry. You made it. All this rivalries and things like that, for what? You made it. Saying like brothers just can't let these streets go. Everything always got to be pride, envy, jealousy, vanity. It's not enough. The money not enough. The jewelry not enough. The women not enough. It's not enough. So that spirit allow you to just never be content. It wants more and more and more at the expense of your very life and freedom. And now you locked up and you thinking about what really is important now that you no longer have. Now you want your children. Now you wish you could be in the arms of that woman who you left, who you was in love with. Now you wish you could get back at that time, that desperate moment, that whatever thought was going in your head, making you want to do that stuff in that split instance. Now you wish you could have that time back, only to say, I wouldn't have done it. See, when y'all playing with the devil, it's all fun in the beginning, but the price is very heavy. The price is very heavy. People need to learn from this. You young people that's on the come up who idolize these brothers and brag about all the money they got, how they rolling, and all the girls they got, and how y'all wish y'all was them, and how you wish you could be fortunate enough to get a lookout like them, learn from these brothers. All this information out here, learn from these brothers and do things opposite of these brothers. They dying at a vast rate. At a vast rate. They're getting incarcerated massively. They're getting indicted by the 10s, 15s, 20s. And what the government ain't locking up, the streets is killing. Are we supposed to feel sorry for these brothers who voluntarily participate in these actions and activities and ungodliness? Are we supposed to feel sad for them? Maybe. Maybe. For the simple fact that this revolving door continues to keep opening. And it's sad knowing that no matter how true it is, no matter how real you can be, there's always somebody that don't care, that's willing to sacrifice it all for nothing. You could always get a fool. You could always get a fool that's willing to risk it all for nothing. Friends killing friends, friends betraying friends. This whole game is about backstabbing and snaking. Think about that. They could have drove that man to the hospital, but they didn't want to. They were thinking about themselves. They were thinking about themselves. And in the process of thinking about themselves, they left that man to die. They left that man to die. They say, man, kick him out the car. Allegedly. He dead, man. He ain't gonna make it. They say that man was clinging on to the door while they were trying to shove him out with the strength that he had left in him. They had to shove him out of the car. Crazy. Shove him out of the car like a dog. And that man died. And thought he was in the company of friends who actually cared about him. But in the closing stages of his life, wasn't even willing to get him help and left him to die like a dog in the hands of strangers. And if they would have got away with it, they would have acted like he was never with them. And would have been faking, fake tears, hugging his mama. When the news came, we found him shot in the face, acting surprised like they have no knowledge of it. Would even go to the funeral, shed fake tears, give condolences to the mama, when all along he was right there with him and may be responsible for his death. And y'all were gonna put on an act. Y'all were gonna put on an act in front of this man's family, probably hold his children and showed them love and gave them a little money, when all along y'all was the one behind his death. It's a cold game, man. Then he would have went to the studio, wrote a rap about it in some type of way, collected more money off of it, got more popular off of it, when all along you was the one behind it all along. That's crazy. Learn from these brothers. It's your boy Battle Truth. It ain't my judgment that some question is yours. Hit the link in the description box. Subscribe to Battle Truth. Join my Patreon, man. If you ain't a member of my Patreon, I'm about to drop 3 bangers on that. So in order to join my Patreon, click the link in the description box. Scroll down to where you see Patreon. Click on it. and support the channel, man, and what I do, man, and be a member of my Patreon. God bless each and every last one of y'all. It ain't my judgment that's in question. It's yours. Subscribe to Battle Truth.